AITA for accepting an all-cash offer on my house 10 minutes after I physically signed a contract with another buyer. My phone is blowing up, threats of lawsuits are flying, and there is literally a crying woman sitting on my front porch right now. I think I'm legally in the clear, but I feel like the biggest scumbag on the planet. Here's the situation. I'm selling my house FSBO, for sale by owner, because I'm going through a nasty divorce and I need every single penny to pay off debts before my ex vaporizes my bank account. I am desperate. Enter the Millers, a young, starry-eyed couple. They were annoying. They nitpicked everything during the walkthrough, insulted my DIY renovations, and tried to emotional blackmail me with stories about their future baby. They finally submitted an offer for $450,000. It was $25,000 under my asking price, and it felt like a defeat, but I had no other options. I called the Miller's agent and left a message on her voicemail letting her know I would sign the contract in the morning and send it to her. This morning at 8:45 a.m., I sat at my kitchen island. I hated to do it, but it was the only offer on the table. I signed their contract. I dated it. It was done on paper. I laid the contract down next to my laptop. I opened my email, started a draft to their agent, and attached a scan of the signed contract. My mouse cursor was literally hovering over the send button. Before I clicked send, my phone started vibrating so hard it nearly fell off the counter. It was an unsaved number. I answered, annoyed. It was a guy, let's call him the Shark. He's a local investor I'd spoken to briefly weeks ago. He sounded like he was in a boiler room, fast-talking and aggressive. He said, "Listen, I know you have an offer. Forget them. I have a 1031 exchange I need to park today. I'll give you $500,000 cash. No inspection, no appraisal. We close in 7 days, but I need an answer in the next 5 minutes or I'm buying another property." My stomach dropped. That's $50,000 more than the Millers. That's life-changing money for me right now. I stammered, I literally just signed the other contract. The Shark paused. "Did you send it to them? Did their agent receive it?" I looked at my laptop screen. The email was still in drafts. "No, I haven't hit send yet." He laughed. It was a cold sound. "Then you haven't sold the house, buddy. A signature doesn't mean jack until you deliver it. Check your email now. I just sent my DocuSign." I felt like I was going to throw up. On one side, the Millers signed paperwork sitting right there on the counter. On the other, my phone pinged with the Shark's $500,000 offer. I thought about my debt. I thought about my ex-wife's lawyer. I grabbed my phone. I tapped 2 buttons on the screen. Signed. Delivered. The deal with the Shark was done. Then, with my heart hammering in my throat, I walked over to the laptop and deleted the draft email to the Millers. For good measure, I picked up their physical paper contract and shredded it. I called the Millers' agent 5 minutes later to give them the bad news. The agent went nuclear. She was screaming so loud I couldn't understand her. She accused me of fraud, bad faith, and she said she was filing an injunction to stop the sale. She swore up and down that because I signed it, it was a done deal. An hour later, Mrs. Miller showed up at my house. She was pounding on my door, sobbing, yelling that they had already ordered furniture and told their parents. She called me a monster. I hid in the kitchen with the blinds drawn. So, Reddit, I got an extra $50,000 that saves my financial life, but I absolutely crushed a young couple's dream on a technicality. AITA?
Okay, that story was intense. And while the seller here might definitely be the a-hole from an ethical standpoint, we need to look at the legal reality of what just happened. Many students in pre-licensing get this wrong. They think the magic moment is when the ink hits the paper. It is not. This entire scenario hinges on the concept of delivery and acceptance. For a real estate contract to be fully executed and binding, 2 things must happen in order. First, signing. The offeree, the seller in this case, must sign the document indicating their intent to accept. Then communication or notification. That acceptance must be communicated back to the offerer, the buyer, or their agent. Until that notification happens, the seller is just a person sitting in their kitchen with a piece of paper. It's not a contract yet. It's a secret. In this story, because the seller never hit that send button to the Millers, the acceptance was never delivered. Legally, the door was still open. When he signed and delivered the DocuSign to the shirk, that became the primary binding contract. The Miller's agent can scream and the buyers can cry on the porch, but in most jurisdictions, they do not have a binding claim to that house because they were never notified of the acceptance. The lesson for you as future agents: speed matters. When your client signs an offer, you don't wait until after lunch to send it over. You send it immediately, because until you press send, anything can happen.